Welcome to Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180 for the absolute best in Saturday Talk Radio at 1 o'clock and on 1230 KGEO at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and for the best in Wednesday Talk Radio on 1410 KERI on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Your host is Clay Koerner, and I'm Marty Pay, and behind the big board is Greg Held, our producer. Hey, Clay, that was a great show on Marilyn Monroe last week.
It was interesting.
Yeah, Jim Baker with his book, The Empty Glass, and Sonny Thompson, the star of Marilyn Forever Blonde.
So was it suicide or was it murder?
You know, I was going to ask you that question.
I think it wasn't suicide.
It was not suicide. I mean, no. You know, when you've got, some things just don't add up. When you've got 50 pills in your system and no water, you know, no water anywhere in the room, no water glass, I mean, it's a little, you know. And plus the phone records all of a sudden disappeared the next morning.
Interesting. It's interesting. I got a call from a couple of people this past week that said, I heard your show. I thought you guys were only politics. I said, well, that's the comedy hour.
That's the comedy hour, right?
But we do a lot of different things.
Well, today we're going to do a different thing, too. How about that for a segue? Huh?
I think it's great.
Yes, we're going to do a show on education today. Our guest in the second half is Andrew Burling from Stockdale Learning Center. But in the first half, our in-studio guest, we have Dr. Jeff Victor, president of Summit Bible College, and his assistant, Nicole Hutchins. Nicole, Jeff, welcome to Taking Care of Business.
Hi.
Hi.
So, Jeff, I remember you from way back when you were teaching up in Tehachapi.
Yes, that's correct. I'm guilty as charged.
My oldest son, who's he's back east now, but I think he was a student of yours at that time.
Could have been,
Joe,
Joe,
yeah.
Oh, was it Joe? Yeah. I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Well, you know, that happens when you get past 39.
There you go.
Memory starts to go.
You know, yesterday I was 21. That's how quick life goes.
That's
yesterday.
Right. Exactly.
Well, it just seems like it. Feels like it.
It feels like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nicole's looking at us going, okay.
I know.
Looking at Nicole, she's got a long way to go to catch up with us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, Jeff, tell us about Summit Bible College.
Well, it's kind of a unique thing. It started about 16 years ago. Actually, I was trying to start a Bible college for a pastor in town, and I put it up on the internet. And then things didn't work out. The pastor kind of went his way, and I went my way, and I was really stuck with it. And that's how it started, and I really didn't know what to do with it. I tried to even give it away to a couple other ministries, and I couldn't get rid of it, you know, and it kept growing on the internet. I had my daughter working for me at that time, and before you knew it, 2003 rolled around, and they wanted local classes here, and we started in 2003 with local classes, and now it's just booming. Our Spanish Bible College, which is something we started about a year ago, has grown to 150 students.
Yeah, it's doing great.
So it's
in just a year?
In just a year, yeah.
Wow. Now, how many students do you have in your regular?
We have about 2,000 students, a little over 2,000 students.
Is a lot of that online, or is it all in class?
No, we have classes here locally, and I would say about 400 or 500 students here locally.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
And then about 1,500 online.
Yes,
yep.
That's correct.
All over the world.
All over the world. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah, so you can get a degree strictly online then? If
yes, you can. We have our videos that come from our classroom, and the videos are put online, so they get to watch the classes online, and they can actually talk or email the professors. And soon in the future, we're going to have it where they can touch a button and they'll be on the screen in the class.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So in other words, the student will be in the class.
Yeah, you'll see them on, even a distant student, you'll see them on the screen, and you'll hear their question. Yeah.
No more pajamas.
Well, I went back and got my master's a couple years ago, and it was kind of a mixed bag where the first day and the last day were in class. The rest of it was online. And it was interesting watching the times that people would actually post and do the classwork. You know, you had some people going on at 2 in the morning and some people at, 9 in the morning. It just, you know, it works out differently depending upon your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so, that's the beauty of the online learning.
Tell me, what are the prerequisites and what degrees do you actually offer?
We offer degrees all the way from associates to a doctorate level, and they're in a lot of different areas. So we have some in leadership, counseling, and we have them in chaplaincy now. We have them in Christian coaching. Mm-hmm. We have them in theology, of course. That's the mainstay. Mm-hmm. And we have degrees in ministry. So if someone has a practical ministry they want to do, we have degrees in that.
Mm-hmm.
So
and where do your professors come from?
The professors are people in town here that are really professional. They're all master's degree level and higher. and they're ministers themselves. They're either they could be in a church as a pastor, but they could be in another ministry, such as maybe they have a rehabilitation home, or they're a counselor or something like that. We have MFTs that we hire, marriage family therapists, and things like that.
What do the marriage family therapists have to do with it?
Well, they have a lot to do with it in that we have classes on marriage counseling. We have classes on crisis counseling, family counseling.
Mm-hmm.
We have even classes on deliverance.
I have a young lady that works for me who has her MFT.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But she's from Fresno State, graduated cum laude, so she's a pretty sharp girl.
Now,
I'd
MFT,
like to talk to her.
MFT is what? Masters in...
No, that means marriage and family therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And she works for you, Clay?
Right, hard to believe, huh?
Well, she must keep you busy.
She's been with me 21 years.
God, and she still doesn't have you straightened out, huh?
What can I say?
What are you going to do? So, one thing that actually, let me introduce who you are again. Our in-studio guest is Dr. Jeff Victor and Nicole Hutchings from Summit Bible College. One thing you advertise, I was looking at your website, which, by the way, is a great website.
Thank you.
That you're different. How are you different?
We're different on a couple of levels. One is like the question you just asked a minute ago, Clay. The people that are teaching the classes are not theologians, so to speak, or people that have a lot of theory about how things are done. They are actual ministers.
Yeah, they've
themselves.
experienced everything that they're teaching. So
So
we
it's
don't
real
just bring
practical.
anybody in.
Yeah.
So it's hands-on.
Yeah,
hands-on
it's hands-on.
experience.
Yeah, we even have classes on healing and wholeness. One of the guys, Mike Evans, who's got his master's degree in Christian education, he has a ministry on how God heals and works in the healing methodology. So, and it's a really good class. And we've actually had people get healed in the class.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's it's a real practical program. We do have classes in hermeneutics and things like that too, systematic theology and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say, it's different that way on the interaction. Also, it's different for the cost. The costs are very low. Some of the colleges, like one of the colleges in town, is $16,000 a year for their program. And ours is the same program is $2,000. We're raising the cost to $3,000 soon on September 25th. But even then, we're going to have scholarships that go with that. So we're trying to make it affordable to the average person, so they can go out there and they can minister more effectively.
Now, are there prerequisites to be able to get into your college, Summit Bible College?
Well, in the state of California, the law says that you can get a college degree even without a high school diploma. And a lot of
Wow.
people don't
I didn't know
understand
that.
that.
Count me in. I'll get my GED next year.
There you go. But there really aren't prerequisites. You could start at the bottom level, associate's level, but most of the people that are like around my age or even over 40, they can come in and we'll credit them with life experience and life credits that they've had in ministry work. And so we usually don't put them right at the bottom level if they're an older person, if they have no knowledge at all about God and they're just basically starting out, they would start more at the bottom level. But we credit degrees, like if you've come in with a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, we put you at the next level. Because our program is repetitive at each level, even though it's a little bit harder or more involved coursework as you go up.
So, Nicole, are you a graduate?
No, not yet.
Okay. Are you in
Working
school
on it.
then?
Yes,
Okay.
I am attending Summit and also working on getting into a nursing program at the moment. So
Now, the nursing program here in town, have you heard of King's Nursing College?
I sure have.
Good. That's opening up next year.
That's
Yep.
going to be a Christian college also, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was waiting for something like that to open up in town.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
this time next year they'll be opening up.
So you mentioned there's scholarships available. Where does the money come from for these scholarships?
Well, from private donors. People give us money from time to time, and they dedicate it for scholarships for people.
And how would people make a donation to Summit Bible College if they wanted to today?
Well, they could send it in to 2525 M Street, which is here in Bakersfield, 93301, or they could actually give online. We have a PayPal button online where they can give. That's summitbiblecollege.com.
SummitBibleCollege.com is your website.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about your curriculum. Okay? Okay. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180.